can you explain, I think we asked you this before, we're going to ask it again though. Can you explain why men seem to be afraid of commitment or afraid of being in a monogamous relationship?
I think some of the problem that men have to deal with is kind of, I don't want to say genetic or DNA or encoded, but it's kind of in that direction. Men have, over the years, I think, had different duties, different responsibilities in relationships. And to that end, their commitment has been double-edged. They've had to be committed in the home, but they've also been outside of the home. Now, I find as you go through different socioeconomic levels, you can get different kinds of attitudes and monogamous behavior senses out of men. Now, some people would disagree with this, but I feel that lower socioeconomic people tend to be more monogamous in many ways because they don't have the money, the opportunity, the variety of opportunities. I think people 3, 4, 5 decades ago, in the 50s and the 40s and the 30s and the 20s, tended to be a little more monogamous. Why? Because transportation, the ability to be places, wasn't as available as it is now. Yeah? You can be in New York in 2 hours, and you've gone from the whatever the ratio of men to women is here in D.C., you've gone to New York where you got like 10 million people right there in the Bronx, or I mean in the Manhattan, Bronx, whatever area. That's a lot of people to choose from. And men didn't have that type of choice internationally. The world is smaller, more opportunities to meet people, to hang out with people. So I think all of those things have gone into maybe middle class and upper middle class, wealthy people having more opportunities to be available. I do think that there are biological predispositions that men have to overcome. Women tend to, I think, be fighting in the opposite direction now. I honestly believe that it is more in the nature of a female in terms of the human species, what we call ontogeny, the human species, to be more monogamous. I was reading something the other day that when it became necessary for women to carry their young and to have to use one or both arms to hold that young, they became more dependent on a mate or someone to help them. The female ape carrying her young can grasp her with the big toe and the other toes, just as they can grasp her with the hands. The feet and the hands both can grab. I forget the magazine, but this was over this new discovery they made over in Ethiopia about this child they found kind of ape-like, but they had found that her feet were more like modern people's feet without the big toe in opposition. And he went on to describe that that whole thing that I just said. The woman needing then somebody to help her because she's now got to pay more attention to caring for the child proved to be a problem. Today, women have jobs, they have incomes, they have retirement benefits, they have unemployment if they're not working, they have savings if they're not working. There's less of that kind of a need. So women are able now to maybe be a little less monogamous. But on the psychological side, I still think that women tend to be inclined a little bit more towards monogamy than men. I think that has a biological, anthropological component to it. And I would suspect that as you go from culture to culture, you'll find a similar pattern, that women tend to nest more, be a little more inclined towards monogamy. Obviously, a woman doesn't have to. She can do things that she wants to do as well. But I just think her inclination, psychological inclination, sociological inclination, is more towards monogamy. A man tends to be more gregarious and out around. I don't think necessarily looking for other women, but just tends to be more out there. And a lot of times in the process of being out there, that's what you encounter. So when I'm doing couples counseling, one of the things that I strongly advocate is, if you don't have anything to do out there, go home. Because one of the quickest ways to get into some type of liaison out there is to just be available and become aware of what opportunities are available out there.